Mo. It is October, mid-October, and that means that it's definitely time to do the end of the year tag. This tag was created by Ariel Bissett quite a few years ago, and although the name implies that it's for the end of the year, it's really for the last few months of the year. Usually I try to do this tag a little bit later, close to November or even in December, because it's kind of an open-ended tag and a lot of things can change in 2 to 3 months. This is a great tag to do for all booktubers because it goes right along with the quarter year tag, the mid-year tag, and here we are at the end of the year tag. There's also the book Postscript Tag, which is kind of for the actual end of the year, and that one I usually do in January. So let's get started with the questions. Question number 1. Are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? I've had quite a few DNFs this year. I've been trying to DNF more actually, and there are a few books on my DNF list that I would like to finish still. You can see the video where I tell you all the books that I DNF'd. I will link that down below. But the book that I really need to finish, or I really want to finish, that I've already started is Howard's End. This is my BookTube Spin 7. Yeah, this is my BookTube Spin 7 book, and I'm definitely not going to finish it before the end of this BookTube Spin, but I'm more than halfway through. I started it a few months ago, and I'm really enjoying it, but due to one thing or the other, and the nature of this book being quite slow, I haven't finished it. This is like the one book that I want to finish by the end of the year. Question number 2. Do you have an autumnal, wintry, or seasonal book to end the year with? So this is obviously a America-centric tag, but if you are in springtime, you could do a spring book, a summer book, whatever months you happen to be in. I don't read with the seasons. I don't read spooky books only in October. I don't read wintry books only in winter or summery books only in summer. So I don't really have an autumnal book or a wintry book to finish the year with. I always want to read a bunch of mysteries, and I've recently been making my TBR for Cloak and Dagger Christmas and Christie's Missing Readathon, which both happen in December. So those are going to be like mysteries. A lot of those happen to take place in the winter. And I was recently looking at some P.D. James short stories. Sometimes I read those more in the winter time. This year I have been reading more spooky books in spooky season as well, but nothing that I would call out. There are going to be some books that are wintry and some books that aren't. Question number 3. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? I don't really follow new releases. I don't really read current new release books. I have read quite a few 2022 books this year, which is very rare for me. The book that I've been wanting to read all year and I haven't been able to find yet is Sundial by Catriona Ward, but I did find The Last House on Needless Street by her a few months ago, so I might just have to settle for reading that one. As usual, changing the questions around a little bit. The next question is there a book that could shock you and become a favorite of the year? Always, absolutely always. In October already, I've read 2 books that are probably going to be on my top 10 list. I read a mystery that I really, really loved by Mary Roberts Rinehart. So I think that there's always a book that could shock me and become my favorite of the year. I do think that this year, a lot of my favorites are books that I either didn't expect to be favorites / like at all, like The Only Good Indians. I was terrified to read The Only Good Indians, and it is definitely one of my top books of the year. Or books that I hadn't really planned on reading and then just read by whim or happened to pick up, or I had thought I would like, but I didn't think I would love. So I can always be shocked and find a new favorite. The next question is, have you started making any reading plans for 2023? Yes, I definitely have some plans and ideas in my head for content and for reading that I want to do in 2023. I always look forward, of course, to reading months like March Mystery Madness, NYRB April, Women in Translation Month, Novella November, Nonfiction November, Cloak and Dagger Christmas. So I have plans all year of things that I want to read for sure, or reading challenges that I want to participate in, but I've also started coming up with things that are going to help me bring down my TBR, are going to help me organize my books and other things. So I will definitely be putting out some videos with reading plans in December, January. And the last question is, what are 3 books that you still want to read by the end of the year? There's so many books that I want to read by the end of the year. There's so many books that I thought I was going to read earlier and haven't read yet. There's so many books that I've recently got in recently acquired books, or at little free libraries, or in independent bookstores, or in used bookstores. So I can't pick just 3. I think everything that I want to read for Christie's Missing is exciting to me. I've definitely picked up a few kind of booktube darlings recently, like Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which I think would be fun to read by the end of the year. There's also all the books on my summer TBR that a lot of them I haven't gotten to yet. I think I'd like to try and finish at least one more DNF. And then of course there's all my TBR tackle books and booktube spin books that I have to read by the end of the year, or that I want to read by the end of the year. So that's a lot. That's the whole point. Always reading more books. Always be reading books. More books all the time. Let me know a book that you really, really want to get to before the end of the year, or do this tag and leave the answers in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!